It is Track and Field Media Day for the River States Conference, University of Rio Grande version. This is Randy Payton, the Sports Information Director, and we're joined by Head Coach Bob Willie, Jaden Roach, Eric Weber. We're going to talk the upcoming, I should say, track and field season. Coach, we'll start with you. Of course, the indoor season already underway, and you've got kind of an idea of what's going on with this team, but what's your expectations for this season?
Well, every year it's always very high. You know, we brought in a number of new faces, probably 20, 22 new ladies, 15 new men, and so with what we have returning, we're very excited and looking forward to the season. In fact, first meet out of the gate indoors, we had 36 PRs, personal records. We had 6 people that hit the top 5 all-time list. So it worried me, really, because I thought, well, where are we going to go from here, after that kind of start. But very excited, looking forward to the season.
So I get my next question. Obviously, the sample size is small, but you've been happy with what you've seen thus far.
Absolutely, Randy. Yeah, it's always exciting, and every meet we go to, we're always having somebody that's either setting a personal record or a school record, and that's what we want.
Talk about some of the top returnees that you have. I know you mentioned you got a whole lot of newcomers, but you also have some kids back from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. We always that's the backbone. We've always said, as coaches over the years, you win with seniors, and so you want to bring as many of those back as you can. I know we're looking at we'll have 15 graduate this year. Always exciting, but then always sad too, because you're losing that much talent.
You mentioned newcomers. I guess, are there some names in particular that we need to look for your club?
I really don't like to do that, because when I start naming names, people start zeroing in on them, and I don't want to put targets on their backs. And then also, I'll say one person and leave somebody out and make somebody mad. So.
All right. We'll bring Jaden into the conversation. What's your take on how things have gone thus far? I know there's only been 2 or 3 meets to this point, but nonetheless, what's your early thoughts on how this team's performed?
I think so far everyone's done a really great job. It is the beginning of the season, so obviously we're trying to get everyone into some really good shape. So training's more difficult. We're lifting a lot more. So sometimes at some of those beginning meets, you're not going to hit those times you're really expecting at first. But like Coach Willie said, we've already had 36 PRs, I think he said, and a bunch of people on the top 5 list already. So I think that's a really great start to see, and just shows that there's even more room for improvement. It's exciting to see all the great things people are going to do towards the end of the season once we get to the conference.
Eric, I'll ask you the same question. You're a little different in the fact that you're involved in the field events. How have those gone thus far?
Not too bad. We got a really good group of throwers. All the older guys, we can probably place really high at conference, and then the newer guys got a little bit of work to do, but overall I think we'll do really well.
I think, obviously, with the indoor season underway, that's kind of the kickstart into the outdoor. There's still plenty of time for guys to reach their potential as we go on into the spring.
Yeah.
Can you kind of expand on that a little bit?
With indoor and outdoor, the only thing that stays that we throw is shot put, and then outdoor we move on to discus, hammer, javelin. Just different events that we're a better outdoor team, I think, than indoor team.
Right. Jaden, same thing for you. I guess, there's potential for this team to get better with each and every practice and with each and every meet as we get into the spring season. Yes?
Yes, I think there's a lot of potential for everyone to get better, because for me personally, I'm doing sprints and mid-distance, so it's just working both of them, and I know a lot of my other teammates are doing the same thing. So, I mean, they're getting ready for. There's like different events indoor. There's a 60 instead of the 100, but then you're working on your starts for that 100 meter, that longer distance event, and then same thing with the middle distance people. You can run the 500, 600, get you ready for those. So,
Coach, we'll turn it back to you. And this season it got underway, and now it will continue and go the rest of the way with. I guess everybody in the program, heavy hearts. You lose assistant coach Burt Wood. He passed away unexpectedly in late December, and I know you and I talked after his passing, a guy that's been here as many years as he has, who's been by your side and heavily involved, obviously, in the throwers and the field events, and just a devastating loss.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's one of those things that you just, you can't replace Bert. I mean, he was so knowledgeable in all of the throwing events. He worked so hard. He was one of those guys that you could throw and he could break it down immediately within his head and be able to say, you did this wrong, then this is what you have to do to correct that. Because sometimes people can pick up what somebody's doing wrong, but they don't always know the little things to correct that. And so, he had just a tremendous eye. It was a gift that he had, but he loved the events. Was very good at his events. I mean, he was one that was a 3-time state champion in high school and held the state Division II shot put record for over 10 years. I know it was 11 years to be exact. And so well respected, throughout not only the state but in our conference, across the country. I mean, he went to University of Tennessee out of high school, rich background. But yeah, just so unexpected, and so it's going to have a devastating blow, to our program. I'm hoping that people will rally and try to win one for Bert, so to speak of. And so, but he's going to be sadly missed.
It's a tremendous loss for your program, but it's also a tremendous loss for the River States Conference. You guys, you talked about it. At his service, he was a coach that, he's here to work with the Rio Grande athletes, but he didn't have any problem with working for people from other schools.
No, you're absolutely right. No, we would have people from other schools that would come to our practices, and he would, reach out and help them as well. And so, he was not selfish by any stretch. He loved the sport of track and field, and was very, very good at, the throwing events, and was not selfish at all.
We'll bring the athletes back in. Jaden, in the off season, what kind of improvements did you work on, obviously personally, and what's your expectations of yourself going into the season?
Personally, I always set very high expectations for myself. I always put a lot of pressure on myself because I always want to do the best I can. During the off season is kind of hard to say because I didn't really get much of an off season. I kind of trained for cross country during the fall, and then went straight into sprinting practice like almost immediately after. But during that winter break time, I made sure I practiced a lot, kept up with my training, kept up with my lifting. So I feel like I'm got myself prepared for this indoor season, and I'm expecting a lot from my teammates as well, and I'm pretty positive that they're doing very great as well.
Eric, what about you?
Just, did a lot of lifting, footwork, been pretty close to national multiple times, but just haven't been able to, cross the line to get there. So looking to improve to go to nationals this year. Coach, we'll finish up with you. You guys, doesn't matter whether it's cross country, whether it's track and field, you tend to get better as the year goes on in getting ready for the conference championship. What's the rest of the conference look like this year?
They're very good. The nice thing about our conference is everyone's getting better, and that's what you want because it helps everybody. And so, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be a great meet. Nice thing is outdoors, it's here. So, we're familiar with the facility, so that helps. Indoors will be at Logan. So again, not too far away as well. But we don't get on that facility only once a year, and that's for the conference championship. But our philosophy here is every meet we go to is for you as the athlete, except one, and that one is the outdoor conference meet. That's the one we ask you to step up and sacrifice your body for Rio Grande. But all others, the meets are for the athletes to try to get them to set personal best, try to set school records, and try to qualify for nationals is what our goals are.
Well, hopefully the year continues with good news. We appreciate you guys being here today.
Thank you, Randy.
All right, that is a look at the University of Rio Grande on this 2023 River States Conference Track and Field Media Day.